Hello, everybody. I'm going to make sure that we are able to access this on Facebook. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I'm on. Yay. So there may be a slight delay, but I am here for you and looking forward to connecting with you and answering any questions. It has been a truly crazy week. We yesterday had 3 visas approved by 9-10 a.m. I guess. 3 visas. We called it our trifecta. And then today we had a 4th visa approved, which is my personal record for the week. Obviously, this is a week when they have a lot of interviews going on. And so we're 4 for 4. So we're pretty excited and our clients are thrilled. It's a great time to be investing in the US and setting up a visa business, a visa-oriented business. It's really very, very exciting. So I am here to answer questions that you may have. I don't see anybody joining us, so let's see why that might be, because that is super weird. Usually there would be all kinds of people joining us. Let's see, maybe I'll go live on my own page too. Let's see. Hi, Michal. Michal up there in, well, it's not that cold. I understand it's actually pretty warm up there in Toronto, but she's in Thornhill. Hi, Michal, how are you? Usually we have a bunch of people and I try to split these up in the day and the night, and we're kind of quiet today. So please join us. Let's see if I can invite some people to join us. Well, let's do a little presentation then if nobody wants to join us and ask questions. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Stress and it's kind of like Billy Crystal. Well, that's too old for you. You probably didn't even know of Billy Crystal, but Billy Crystal, it's not how you look. I'm sorry, it's not how you feel, it's how you look. Remember from, what the heck was that called? I don't remember what it's called. Hi, Kim. But Billy Crystal was kind of saying, forget about how you feel, just always try to look good. So what you show out there is what you feel inside, not always, but let's put our best foot forward, right? Fake it till you make it, I guess. So it's kind of a stressful time here in my personal life because we have to move, but we are doing such amazing things for our clients that I can't help but feel so proud and grateful and thrilled with our amazing team and happy that everybody is stepping up and making a difference for people that are trying to and making the move to the US from all over Canada mainly, and to places all over the US. Although our 4 clients this week all happen to be investing and setting up businesses in Florida, but some of them have multiple states in which they're invested. Actually, all of them do. So we're very excited about that. So doesn't anybody have any questions? Because I don't want to do a boring, talking head presentation, and I'm here to answer questions. And I'm just really excited about our clients and their success. I mean, literally they were 5, I think the maximum interview was 6 minutes. So, and I remember one of our clients, my dear friend, who I shall not name, was so worried. And I said, I promise it's going to be okay. You're going to just get through this in 5 seconds. They're probably not even going to look at half the stuff you have. And sure enough, they didn't. All that they want to do is make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's and accomplish your goals and have a good business plan, which we've been doing for a couple of decades, and make a big difference in people's lives. So how do you invite people to come on this thing? I know I used to be able to do it. Doesn't it work anymore? Michal, tell me how to do it. I know there's a way. When you're on Facebook Live, you could like tag people and tell them to come in and visit you. No? Maybe not. I think there is, but obviously I'm missing the trick. I think Facebook changed all their algorithms. So I guess I'll do a boring presentation since nobody wants to ask me any questions. So, well, maybe Victoria will ask me some questions now that she's here. Hi, Victoria. So this is kind of boring if I'm just going to talk, especially since I have these voice issues. I don't know. I thought they were gone. I thought long COVID was over, but guess what? I live in a house that has mold and I think that it's impacted me, and So the voice issues are unfortunately back, but they're going to go away soon. And I don't work in that side of the house. So that's a good thing. All right. So I'm going to present a couple of slides for you. Ask the expert. So look, the truth is that you can do this all by yourself. You can probably figure out the steps to get a visa and get yourself into the US. But do you really want to do that? It doesn't seem like a good plan. Look, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't even my own immigration lawyer. Okay. I had a colleague. I paid him. He handled everything. Why? Because we aren't always our best advocates, are we? And we can't always see the forest for the trees. So we sometimes get in our own way. I tend to do that. So as a result, I tried to be true to myself and focus on what I do best, which is not handling my own immigration. And I paid somebody to handle it for me. And actually, at the end of the day, I had to kind of fight with him a little bit because he didn't want to push the envelope, and I did. And we pushed it, and we got the green card. Well, that was for the green card process. And we pushed the envelope. We actually pushed the envelope all the way through. And we're going to push the envelope for you too. So that's why we were 4 for 4 this week. 4 for 4. I think we have a total of less than, I don't know, 4 for 4. I think it's a total less than 20 minutes for all 4 visas. So yeah, they don't want to spend too much time because they got to get through a lot, and then they got to get to lunch. You know, they have their priorities. So not saying anything negative, because God forbid, I don't want to say anything negative. I love you all you USCIS and CBP officers are my best buddies. But I will tell you, look at that. I put my hand up and it puts my hand up. There's a whole thing going on, a mandamus claim. So mandamus means that it's unnecessary delays in a process. And there are mandamus claims going on literally all over the country for people that have had their E2, especially their E2 process delayed, unreasonably delayed. So there's a lot of this going on, but so our client today, we sent the application in, I think the third week in January. We originally got an April date, and he kept calling and calling, and he went today. So needless to say, he didn't have to wait till April, right? Right. So that's what we want to do for you too. So we can't guarantee it, but we can pretty much assure you that we will do everything to help you to accomplish that. So our signature program is how to immigrate through real estate. And this slide talks about the 10 steps to immigrate through real estate. And let me see. There's some questions. I'll answer them. Victoria, you should come on my Zoom so you can say the questions, because that way I don't have to read them, because I don't, my head gets a little, I feel like I'm playing ping pong. Okay, so the 10 steps to immigrate through real estate, the first 8 of these steps are actually applicable whether or not you're immigrating. So even if you're setting up your structure, which will give you 10 steps to successful US real estate investing further along. But in the meantime, at the end of the day, these are the 10. Thank you. Victoria came on Zoom so she could ask me questions and I don't have to play ping pong with myself. So listen, this is just a chance to get to know each other here. So it's not like a formal presentation. I'm not promoting anything. I'm just sharing. So ask questions and I will answer. Victoria, can you tell me the questions you asked that were asked in the Facebook, please, in the Facebook group?
Yes. So someone asked, what is the lowest price a real estate investor can invest, or what is the lowest price on property? And I think you have some properties in these slides, right, Lauren?
Not in these slides, but in the masterclass slides, which is on the 14th, our next masterclass, Tuesday the 14th. We usually do them on the 15th, but the reason we're doing the next one on the 14th is because I'm going to some kind of, I don't know, mastermind, something or other on the 15th. That's like literally an international women's mastermind, like it's the woman who puts it on is from Israel. So that's why it's 2 hours and I don't want to miss it. So I had to change our masterclass to Tuesday, the 14th at 12:30. So maybe Victoria can put the link in the group, of course, as she always does. She's just amazing. I met her through one of my clients, actually. So yes, and his name, did you ever meet Jay in person? Can't hear you, babe.
I have not yet. I have not got the lock yet, but it almost like if I have.
No, you have to meet Jay in person.
I will. It's one of my goals.
Yeah, he's a character. I'll tell you that much. He is a character. And I can say that out loud because I love him. I just saw him a couple of weeks ago and it was so funny. It was his birthday. He was in Miami because they were going on the marketer's cruise and Corey and the kids were dead to the world sleeping. He's downstairs with his glass of red wine. And I'm like, you're supposed to be partying. It's your birthday. But, he and I are the same age. So we're past that point. But he knows how to party, Jay. But he was hanging out and schmoozing with all the Canadians. It was kind of funny. So but he's a great guy. And
yes,
I'm sure you'll meet him one
he
day.
is.
He's a very special guy. He does not like
success.
details. So one of the things that we do for our clients is help them to not have to deal with the details. Jay was like, I don't even know the answer to that, Lauren. Figure it out. Okay, let's see now. Somebody's got to give me the information, Jay. So anyway, that's why he has people like Victoria and me on his team. So that question about what does it take to invest in property? You can invest in property for as little as like 10 grand in some places. Sometimes you don't even have to put any money out of pocket because if you work with Carolyn and I, you can access subject tos or agreements for sale in Canada, meaning you buy out somebody's mortgage. Now, can this qualify for a visa? Maybe, maybe not. It's all about the structure around your real estate investing. So I take it back. We just brought in a new client. She just paid the deposit about, an hour ago. And she is a real estate investor who wants to use her current real estate investments as part of her real estate investment portfolio to qualify for a visa. Now, the best way for her to do that is what, Victoria? Do you know the answer to this? I'm putting her on the spot here. Yes, you do. What's our business that we do for real estate?
Well, we do Airbnbs. It depends really on the preference of the person. That's why I do not know really the answer, because I know that you do a very personalized service and it depends on the goals of the person that wants to invest.
100%. And that's the beauty of it. So this woman was actually asking me, don't you have a turnkey business? Which we do, but we don't have a franchise. It's not one size fits all. We have a system and a model and a structure, and then we build it around what you want to do in real estate. And we got our third visa using this model, which is complicated, and not every immigration officer is going to understand it because there's all kinds of entities intermingled. And we got our third visa yesterday in this model.
Our fourth visa.
No, I'm saying our third in this model over time. Yes, we got 4 visas this week, 4 for 4, trifecta yesterday, 1 today. That's 4 for 4. Man, if my son has that batting average, I'll be proud of him forever. But in any event, or anybody has that batting average, it just doesn't really happen quite too often. Maybe once in a while Guerrero has that, but not too often. But the point is that strategic REI, which is our business with my partner Carolyn, is a model that builds the business around you. So it's not like we say, this is your business. We take what you want to do and then customize the business. And that's what makes it so unique, because we wouldn't get the success rate that we do if we didn't do that. And it's a very, very high end, high level, high intensity, very, very involved process, or process, as they say in Canada, where we really help you to understand how to turn your real estate investing goals into a business that works. Because the big distinction between what works and what doesn't is passive versus active. So, Victoria, is an Airbnb business always active?
Well, it's most of the time.
It can be, but a lot of people do Airbnb and hire a property management company, right?
Correct.
And if they do that, they may not, well, on its own, that won't qualify. But if they hire a property manager and they become actually the operator of the business, and it's a real business, not one Airbnb or two Airbnbs, but a bunch, then yes, it's an active business. So my superpower is taking that passive business, passive real estate investor, and turning them into an active real estate business owner. And that's how you're going to get a visa every day, at least if you work with me.
And we have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do the person needs to live in the States to be able to get a visa or to invest?
No. Well, look at Jay. Where does Jay live? In Calgary. Okay. So Jay Facette, one of my favorite clients, who's again how I met Victoria, he lives in Calgary and had no plans of moving, but needed a visa because he started the process before COVID, and then his business went virtual, but now it's back live again. So before COVID, when we started the process, he was doing tons and tons of events all over the US. And every time he would come in, he'd have some kind of something happen. Even Tony Robbins had something happen at one point when he was coming in. I'm sorry, when he was going into Canada to run an event. So if you have a visa in your pocket, it's like an insurance policy because they can ask questions, but you just say, here you go. Here you go. I have a visa. I'm legal. But you do not have a residency requirement until you become a resident. And you don't become a resident until you get a green card. So that's a reason that a lot of people choose not to get green cards, besides the tax advantages as well, because there are many tax advantages for high net worth people not to get a green card. Okay, this slide is available as a download and we will share it in the chat. And this just talks a little about the 10 steps to immigrate through real estate, which can eventually be used as a path to EB-5, which is a green card. But this is our signature program. And well, how to immigrate through real estate, or 10 steps to immigrate through real estate. And the beauty is that we really complement immigration lawyers who are not as familiar with real estate as the model, as the mode, as the path. And that's why we collaborate with so many of them. Any other questions so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Which investor visa is the best if I am already living in the US, or different type of visa?
On a different type of visa. What type of visa do you have, hon? Can you put that in the chat for Victoria, please?
They say they are looking for an E2.
Right, they're looking for an E2, but did they say they currently have a visa here?
They have not responded.
Okay, so if you're in the US and you want to get a visa, you have to do what's called a change of status if you want to not leave to go to an interview. And the change of status is available for you, but it's only a 2-year visa and you cannot leave the country. And if you do leave, you kind of put your whole visa on the kibosh. Now, what a lot of people do is they get the visa, the change of status, because it's quick and easy and fast, and you can do expedited and premium processing, it's called. And then you submit for an interview at the consulate and you don't leave until you get that interview. And the likelihood of the interview being successful, well, first of all, we've never had a denied visa. Thank God this week we got another 4. So now, the numbers keep growing. But at the end of the day, it's always a possibility. But if you have a change of status, the likelihood of them granting you a visa is that much higher, because it's already been reviewed. And the change of status diligence level is much higher than the 5 minutes you spend at an interview, because these immigration officers have the chance to review every document. Now, the other difference between a change of status, which is within the US, that you get it within the US, and it's called a change of status because it's changing your status while you're in the US, but as soon as you leave, you lose your status. That's why it's called that, okay? Now, the other difference between a change of status and a regular visa is that the immigration, you don't have an interview. So there's no interview for change of status, whereas the whole thing is about the interview with a regular consular processing, E2. Do you have any further questions about what type of business can I buy? You can buy any type of business as long as it's not an illegal business. And as long as it's not marginal and it's a substantial investment. So we help with the business investments a lot. We actually do a lot of franchises. We love franchises. They're easy, they're simple, they're turnkey. And of course, we love real estate investing. So that is definitely an option for you. And by the way, I didn't even warn Victoria that I needed her to come in, but that's how she is. She's just a wonderful, amazing asset to our company. And she creates the slides. So if you like the slides, give her a shout out. All right.
Thank you very much, Lauren.
Of course.
Here
So
is there a way, well, I think that you already responded to this. Is there a way for real estate investing to qualify for a visa? And yes, having an active business, and you have the specialty of doing that, because if they just buy a property, they won't make it. But if
no
they have
way.
your help, then they can make it a business.
Yes. Where are our Mexican people, girl?
They will be coming. They will be coming.
Yes, they will become. And then she can speak her lovely native language of Spanish, which is so much nicer than English. That's such a nice lilt. So, I love this. So Victoria found this little picture, one size fits none. And it's so true, because way too many of my fellow practitioners just pump out the volume, pump out the visas. We don't do that. We create a very personalized plan for you. And so if you have questions, we answer them. We have WhatsApp chats with every one of our clients. Today, one of my new clients, the biggest challenge was that she couldn't download WhatsApp. It kept giving her error messages. And then around 3 p.m., she finally got it. I go, thank goodness, now we can actually work together. And I said, may this be the worst challenge that we have, because there's always some technology challenge, right? But it is a personalized plan that's developed just for you, just like the real estate business model is developed around you and what you want.
That
Any
is
more
right.
questions?
And here it comes the question of what service do you provide that other firms don't?
Oh, everything. So most immigration firms do immigration itself. And this right now is going to show you what we do that's completely unique. And nobody else is crazy enough to do this, because it definitely takes a toll. That's why I literally have been up to all hours of the day and night the past few days, because our 4 clients that were going for their interviews were asking questions, and I always answer them. That's just, I can't help myself. So we have a proven, holistic, full service, 3-phased invest to immigrate program. The first phase is really the most essential phase. It's finding your business, vetting your business, making the investment, setting up your entities, figuring out what investment you want, figuring out if it's real estate, a franchise, getting you through that whole process of the pre-visa planning and investment phase. Okay? You can't go to the next phase without that phase. No immigration lawyer generally does that at all. They farm that out to a business broker or somebody that's a business consultant. That's our first phase of our service. That's where we shine. Then comes the second phase, which is the business plan. We've been doing business plans, oh my goodness, since 2006, I think, for visas. And our business plans are not like anybody else's business plans, because we basically customize them for every client. And we have standard information and stuff, but we really, it's not cookie cutter, let's just say. And then the third phase is crafting your visa petition from the business plan that we developed based on your investment in phase 1. So it's full service, and we are there with you every single step of the way. Victoria, can you manage this for 1 second? I just have to turn on the fan here. Just give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, the air went on right as I said that.
Magic.
Wow, that
Magic
was
that
weird.
happens.
Pardon?
Magic that happens just when you live in Florida.
Manifest, baby, manifest. All right, so moving right along. So this is just a little more about the first phase and what we do and how we do it. And there's private consultations and discussions and meetings and so on. The second phase is the business plan development. And we can also bring in funding and financing and all kinds of stuff there. And the third phase is the visa submission and getting you through the interview and prepping you and all of that fun stuff. And we have many options, because we can either do pay in full, in which you save a few bucks, or pay in installments, in which you pay $13,500 for phase 1, $13,500 for phase 2, and $12,000 for phase 3. And the initial deposit is $1,800, which is deducted off of the first phase. The $1,800 is available to be paid by credit card, but the balance must be wired for a variety of reasons. But that's really important because credit cards also, you'd have to pay 4%, and not too many people really want to do that. I probably would do it because I love my Amex points, just saying. So what makes us different? We have a stellar track record, which we just added 4 more to this week. We're responsive generally within an hour or less during business hours. Sometimes to my son's chagrin, he's like, "Mom, what about me?" We have the connections to health insurance, all types of attorneys, accountants, financial advisors, real estate agents, etc., all over the country. Creative options to meet your family's needs and your professional goals. Strategic guidance throughout the process. And we have real estate investing as a business model that works for a visa. And like I said, we're the only concierge full service professional team in the industry. Now, this slide is 10 steps to successful US real estate investing, which is also available as a download. And this is for those of you that just want to invest or maybe want to invest to immigrate through real estate. And we set up your real estate investing structure, and we have that whole program available as well. So whether you want to get a visa or not, and this could be a starting point to getting your visa or maybe not, it depends on what you want. So what's your next step is to click the link here, which unfortunately isn't a link.
I think you can click it up, Lauren, in the slide that it's
okay.
Before that one, where it's underlined.
Before? This
Yes.
one?
Yes. Click there.
Oh, okay, cool. So if you look, okay, so next time let's put that in here.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, so this is your next step to click in here, but Victoria will put the link in the chat for you as well. And that's an $1,800 deposit to get you started. And then we send you a list of your steps. And that's what I had to present today. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if there are any more questions in the chat.
Yes, we have one more that says, what type of, I don't know, here, can I buy a franchise and will you help me?
Yes. Who asked that question?
Those questions were sent from another chat that we have. I just reposted them.
Oh, okay, got
Yes,
it.
yes.
Okay.
So I think also there was a question that I remember about the best franchises and if you would advise them what type of franchise that they could buy.
Yeah, for sure. So look, it's going to depend on you and your background and your interest. That's part of it. It's also going to depend on the franchise being E2 or visa friendly. It's going to depend on the franchise, but the budget to buy the franchise, because of obviously if you have more money, it's going to be a different type of franchise and your interests. Like if you want to buy a property management franchise, if you want to buy a kid franchise, a pet franchise, I like pets. I have 2 dogs, so kind of like pets. And if you want to buy a an elderly care franchise, pets, kids, and older people, businesses in those 3 areas always thrive despite hard and challenging economic times. There are some quick serve restaurants that can do very, very well. Some concept franchises, a lot of tutoring businesses, very simple and turnkey. So I hope that answers that question.
And
so
we have also, what is the minimum that the franchise should cost? Is there a minimum?
Yeah, there's no specific number, but the guideline is around 100,000. That's really what it takes to get into an investor visa. But if you're buying real estate, it's about triple that because you're buying a tangible asset. And so your money is not at risk in the same way. So they want to see a higher investment.
Awesome. So I think those were the only questions we had this round, Lauren.
Awesome. Well, I thank you, Victoria, for joining me on ad hoc like you did. She's always there for us. And she's the one managing the Facebook group and putting all of our questions in there. How did the poll go?
So I can give you the answer to that in a sec.
Thank you.
But we had many answers and people really like to ask the expert, like this session that we are doing. because I think they can like ask what they have on their minds, like just straight.
For sure. That's why we do it.
But well, while here it is.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
no, I lost it. Don't worry. I will tell you later, Lauren.
I know that there was a lot, there was like 40 responses already, right?
Yes. So we have people like the private consults, they have the ask the expert and also group coaching.
Well, then it's all around. We're covering the gamut there. So everybody wants a little piece of everything. So, well, we hope that we're giving you a lot of value in this group and in our YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll put that link in here. Our podcast is coming out once every 3 weeks. You have something else, Victoria?
Yes, someone is asking, do you know about investing in Florida, especially Pensacola?
Yeah, I've seen that question several times, and as I mentioned, I have partners in the Pensacola area. It's the same principles as investing anywhere else. It's just a matter of finding the best realtors and setting up your structure. So we definitely have partners in Pensacola, and we've had investors invest there before. So I hope
Awesome.
that was
So yep,
helpful.
that was the last question.
Awesome. All right. Well, I am going to sign off for today. Thank you, Victoria, for being my Vanna White. Do you know who Vanna White is?
It's like when you get
No, Vanna White's from Jeopardy, this game show. Probably nobody knows. I'm just old.
well, I think Jeopardy went for a while, but no, I don't remember that term.
Yeah. I think I could be Victoria's mom. So I could pretty
Might
much
be.
be everybody's mom in our whole team. So, but you know, thank God I have color on my hair, so you can't tell so much. So, all right, cool. Well, thank you. I will look forward to seeing you guys. Victoria, do you know when our next Q&A is by chance?
We still don't have a date, but we will be.
No, I don't mean to ask the expert. I mean the Q&A. We have, let me check. We also have the Q&A page. I think let me check when it is. Because everybody that comes to that does a paid consult with either myself or the team has access to at least one free Q&A session. And our next Q&A session is, I think
that we still have not a date set.
No, we set 3 dates. We set the date of, I don't know. You'll have to stay tuned here because we set the date, but I don't see it. I know we had 3 dates scheduled. We had our first Q&A, well, second actually yesterday. And I think our next one, well, on March 1st, we're doing a real estate investing mastermind at 1 p.m. So you guys definitely want to come to that. That's going to be amazing. Really amazing. Okay. So we look forward to that. So, all right. Thank you. Have a good evening. Buenos noches.
Good night, Lauren. Good night,
Lila
everybody.
Tov,
Thank you for joining.
Bon nuit, and all of those fun things. Good night. Ciao for
Bye.
now. Bye.